something together because I came home late last night. So I've just got 10 slides with a bit of some videos and.
Sorry.
She said it to me in German. I'm like, oh God, what have I done wrong?
No, really?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm extra sorry. Because I know this can be scary.
It's really scary. Someone can be saying something nice to me and I'm like, I didn't do it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Even I have that, and Dutch is pretty similar to German. So, sorry.
Okay.
You were saying things.
Yeah, so I've got 10 slides here with 1 or 2 videos that I scrambled together and some pictures, and I thought I would just chat about each of them and kind of make a few points on each one. And I can actually I can send it to you for the later
okay
video call, because I'll be driving to my next workplace. So yeah.
Why during the weekends? Where are you going to?
Yeah, so this last week was a bit special because I did that thing where I'm going to say to myself, I'm not going to do it again. You know, when you have a deadline, so you have the big canopy camp out, or you have the VU, and you're like, okay, I can't do anything up until this point. And then you just start adding things to the next week and then you realize that you have this giant mound of things to do the next week because everyone's like, oh, so you're available again, and you're like, no, not really.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, I was teaching all week. I was teaching students, which was fantastic, but it was long days. I just wouldn't get out the trees at the end of the day. And I'm actually cone picking. So I'm going out to get the last of the beech nuts and
okay.
Oh, cool! I wanted to do that so much this year, but
yeah.
it's so difficult and bureaucratic to get a contract.
Oh,
You know, here there is the United States Forest Service and Cal Fire do it,
okay.
but in the requirements and the paperwork it's just impossible to figure out. So I gave up on it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a way, but
yeah. I mean, I can skip that because the university employs me to come in and do
oh, there
this.
you go.
And so yeah, I guess they do all that horrible paperwork part, and I can.
You know, it's kind of funny. They wanted me to write a proposal where give a price per bushel. You know, bushel is an old-fashioned measurement you never use for anything else. Plus, I don't know how many pine cones go in a bushel, so I would be like bidding totally blindly. I don't know what
Gotta figure that out.
Yeah.
That could go terribly wrong. Yeah. Oh dear.
Another thing that's obsolete, I guess.
Right, bushel. You know,
yeah.
You know, there's an old saying: "Don't put your light under a bushel measure." I've heard that. But that's
yeah. Oh wow.
Anyway, the American system of measurement is pretty old-fashioned anyway, but this one is like way old-fashioned.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it's more old-fashioned than the rest of it.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so they just give me coordinates and I drive to it, and then it's up to me how long it takes me to collect the number of seeds that they need. So.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I wish I could do that. Nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, this year the seeds are pretty bad. Everything's very dry, and they haven't really grown many new ones this year. So I'm up in the tips quite a lot. And in beeches, the beeches are not great because they've just been drying out with all the hot sun. There's been a few scary moments. What am I doing up here? Like these tiny little sticks trying to get this little seed out on the periphery, but,
right.
But also it's great. So
yeah. Interesting.
Yes, yeah, but they also seed collecting knows no weekends. It's like, yeah, if the seeds are ready, then you got to collect. So
right. That's the thing, and that's the thing with it. A couple of years ago, I wanted to go, and I was going to work for someone else collecting cones. He calls me at like 10 o'clock at night, and
Yeah.
he says, can you meet me tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock? And it's actually impossible because this is like 5 hours drive from where I live. And so it's like short notice. I'm like, sorry, I can come the next day. No, we got to do right now. Like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's quite a demanding role. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Never heard of that. Yeah,
Mm.
that's cool.
But it keeps things interesting and
Yeah.
nice.
Should we see if Russia has a good signal today? Russia, are you? How's your signal? Are you able to video and the microphone in? Is it Eugene?
No, it's not Jim, it's Vladimir from Moscow. Sorry. Hello. Are you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, we hear you
Yeah.
good.
I am from team Evgeny. We were in Adygea, if you remember,
Mm-hmm.
Petrol team Russian. And sorry, I'm not Jimmy.
That's okay.
That's fine.
I just listen.
But anyway, yeah.
I know that my friend Timofey will send you movie, a video this evening, maybe. And now I just interested and look. Don't think about me. I just listen.
Okay.
Okay, great. Glad you could join.
Yeah. Nice to have you here. All right. Do you want to show slides?
Yes,
I'm going to call you Yuri.
yeah. Yeah, that's my my bonus. Okay, let me see. Oh, good. It's all in German.
My brother-in-law actually works for a German kitchen company.
Ah, really? Cool.
Yeah. So in the middle of the night, it was like posted something on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It was something like, check out our new blue kitchen, but then in German.
Very you made me
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Forgot about that part. It's really early for me.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm a little bit more of a night owl as well.
It's mostly because I stayed up too late. Because I was planning on doing what Eric is doing. And just continuing with today. But
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna happen.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes. It's not in full screen, but yeah.
Okay. I just want to do that.
I think it's okay, yeah.
There we go.
Good. Right. So, yeah, a Canopy Camp Out 2021. So this was our 5th year that that we ran the event, and it all started with a want to connect all the amazing people that we had previously worked with or connected with around the world. And we quite quickly realized that the conference just wouldn't work with the number of people that we wanted to join, and also the logistics and the financial and social restrictions for some parts. And we thought, well, there's this thing called the internet, perhaps we can do something online. And that way we can really include everyone and all over the world. And we're like, okay, well, camping out in the trees is our big thing. It's kind of like something that we celebrated at the end of a project. If we hadn't have gotten to it during, it was like okay, we did it, this is great, now we can actually be in the place that we want to and just for our enjoyment, not work-wise. And it was always a highlight. And thought, okay, well, let's just encourage others to do the same, and we can try and raise a little bit of money for a project that we think is worthwhile. And at that point, it was the World Land Trust, and it was a big area in Borneo. And they wanted to purchase, the local people wanted to our local organization wanted to purchase an area of native rainforest that was really under threat from the palm oil industry. And they needed to raise, I think, 250,000. So that was already underway. So it was already being promoted by the World Land Trust. And we thought, well, we can just contribute to that. And in that first year, it got a huge response. And we had, I think, in the first year, we had 35 campouts in maybe 19 different countries. And this year we got 197 registered campouts in 36 different countries. So it's really grown over those 5 years, and bearing in mind that everyone that works on the Big Canopy Campout, exactly like the GOTC and the VU, is actually, it's in our spare time that we do it. It's voluntary work, and it's, yeah, it began as a bit of a hobby. I can't really say that for this year. That was a little bit more intense than a hobby, but yeah, it's really growing and people are getting on board. And what we did find was that there's a real strong support group from activists that climb trees, and these are people that will dedicate time, energy, resources to being up in trees as a frontline measure, and a non-violent frontline measure to protect these areas. And what we found was amazing was how much we learned from these people in the last few years, and especially the Bob Brown Foundation. And they taught us that actually these frontline measures are critical to their campaigning, and they are single-handedly keeping out multi-million pound industries and firms that are trying to get in there to mine or to cut down the forest or just destroy a lot of native old growth. And so we've made this quite a strong connection now with people who are not just doing it for fun, but actually doing it for a purpose. And the success rate is just quite astonishing. And the energy that they have in sleeping up in these places. Some of the people are not particularly keen on heights either. And they don't just sleep up there for a night and then kind of take some pretty pictures and go home. They're up there for weeks at a time. And they have systems in place, they have support groups. It really is, it's such an impressive feat. So that's been a real added and unexpected bonus really to the whole Big Canopy Campout. And we're finding that more people are coming out the woodwork and being like, okay, this is a great platform for us to promote our project. So we'll also, we'll tell our stories, we'll let you know what we're doing. And it's a way to also get more people involved. So encourage people to get involved and also destigmatize a lot of it. One of my favorite quotes from Eric Hayward this year, and he's a frontline activist the Bob Brown Foundation has been for years. And I asked him to demystify some of the things associated with people that climb trees for activism. And he said 90% of all the people that he hangs out with in activism work would never dream of hugging a tree. And I just thought that was such a beautifully innocent statement, because they adore trees and they want to save these places, but they have a real drive, and it's not something superficial to them, and it's something very serious. And they learn about the the law enforcement, they learn about what will happen if they are arrested. They actively choose to put themselves in a position that could result in that. And if people are very, they can't be arrested for their work, for their family, for whatever, then there are hundreds of other roles that are involved that doesn't require being on the front line. So I think it's just a much bigger machine than anyone really realized, and it's not a bunch of hippies up a tree. They're very clued up, and they're very, very dedicated. So,
well, at least they got 10% hippies. It's always good to have a touch.
Always good to have a touch. Yeah, we definitely need them. We definitely need them. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So that's been a fantastic and really rewarding part of this, is kind of getting to know these people. And and what I have noticed as well, they're a little reserved of coming forward, because they do deal a lot within the law, and what they don't want to be doing is splashing their information around about where they're going to be occupying in the trees, or who they are, because they do become targets. So it's quite a sensitive thing as well. So by them coming forward and telling us about their projects, we've had people in New Zealand, Britain, Germany even, Australia and Tasmania. This is really quite a big movement over there, is being up in trees to prevent the loggers coming in. And it's very humbling, and it's just a nice way to be able to celebrate their efforts also, because quite what happens is that they often maybe don't succeed, and they just then go on to the next project and try and do the next one. So it's unrelenting. I think their stamina is incredible. So I would say that that's probably one of the main themes of the Big Canopy Camp Out, and something that was completely unexpected. And
Right.
Yeah, it kind of makes it much more worthwhile.
So was there a canopy camp out in like also a place of activism, a place of they were defending?
Yeah.
Not?
So there's Forestry Watch in Tasmania. So there was going to be 3 campouts in Tasmania, but sadly the weather was so bad that Bob Brown have actually postponed until the end of October, which I don't blame them, because they're still pretty much in winter at the moment. And it looked like they were going to have 30 to 40 milliliters of rain in a rainforest all over the weekend, and they wanted to have 90 people up and in the forest that weekend, and it wouldn't have been a particularly enjoyable way to introduce people to that kind of work. So they've pushed it a month, which is great, because it just means that the campaign goes on for another month, and then we can really focus on their camp out when they do it, which is always incredible. It's always large, and they're so organized. But we did have several in Australia, the details of which I don't have to hand. And last year, for example, there were 6 or 7 in Australia that were in places that were currently under threat of being logged. And they got some great exposure from that, and did a lot of things online, and I think got a lot of support. And others have gone back to places that were protected by activism to celebrate them still being there, which is also nice. So yeah, it's very interesting to kind of watch how things unravel. Last year we fundraised for Bob Brown, and we were fundraising for a particular temperate rainforest called the Tarkine. It's very cultural and ecologically important. However, sadly, not that we thought that our mere $10,000 dollars was going to save it, but they're still protecting it now to this day. They're still under threat. One thing after the other that just keeps coming in. They're like, no, we want a mine. No, we want to log it. No, we want a road. So they're just, it's their energy is fantastic. Yeah. So yeah, this is our little map here, and all those lovely little tents show where our campouts were, more kind of over your side of the world, which is just great to see them all kind of popping up. And I think we doubled in America this year, which I'm sure has something to do with you guys. Thank you for that. And
No
yeah.
clue.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
really nice. So this is we've put this out on social media before, but this is actually Jimmy speaking to us about what the forest means to him and how he connects to it. And I just thought it was quite fundamental to the whole campaign this year, so I was just going to play it. Hey.
Sí, yo diría que para mí la selva es mi hogar, es donde yo crecí.
I would say that the jungle is my home. It's where I grew up. It's where my grandparents lived. It's where I learned to walk with the spirits of the jungle. My dad, when I was a child, still had this very deep connection through the spirits of the jungle. I could see his power to feel the animals, to feel the spirits, to feel the rivers. Every time we went fishing, my dad would catch really big fish. I saw that. That was all amazing to me. Now I believe that even though we have lost that connection, there is still hope. There is hope. Right now, the young people who are drinking ayahuasca, they know and feel that connection. That is why there is still hope. That is why we struggle, because we want to reclaim our spiritual knowledge and also reclaim our territories that were basically taken from us. The spiritual shouldn't only be viewed from the perspective of the jungle. In this day and age, we cannot say that we are going to live solely from hunting or fishing. It's not like that. We're already in a globalized world. What we need is to find out how current technology can help the Sekopai to live better, and how the Sekopai can also maintain our ancestral knowledge to never lose it, so that we can use computers, telephones, and have this Western knowledge as well. That is the search and the struggle of today. I believe that in order to create this new world, the dream we want to live as a society, it's not just about one culture learning from another culture. It's about a union of several cultures, the various forms of knowledge, so that we can create this balanced world with an understanding of the worldview of Indigenous people and also an understanding of the worldview where you come from. That's how we can create a different world, the world we want to live in, the world we want to see, where our territories, our rivers are without pollution, where you also live well. This is the community that needs to be created today with various forms of knowledge. For example, oil does a lot of damage to the peoples who live in the Amazon. We have to stop exploiting for oil and look for alternative energy sources. All Indigenous peoples have to have this knowledge to be able to share with other cultures how to live, how to plant crops, because we still have that connection with the stars. We still have that connection with the stars, with the moon, when to plant trees, when to plant corn. This is the knowledge that the world needs to find balance. It's not just about us. There is a whole cosmic world around us.
So
Sorry.
One of Jimmy's main points is that he understands that we need to merge the worlds more. So yes, ancestral knowledge is wonderful, the medicinal plants are wonderful, but he really sees also the benefits of the knowledge that we have over here in the Western world, for example, the technology, scientific proof of certain things, certain medicines. He really believes that the combination of both, not that one is better than the other, but the combination is going to allow everyone to kind of move forward and connect better to the world, to the natural world, but also understand it a little bit better as well. He said that one of the biggest differences between the Western world and where he comes from is that they don't need scientific proof that something is in the rainforest. They just either witness it, they believe it, they understand it. They don't need it to be explained to them. And that's why their beliefs about the tree spirits and about how things are interconnected is fundamental to their way of living. But they're repeatedly told that without proof that it doesn't exist, and that they must wait until science proves certain phenomenon, for example, and that stories are not enough to protect an area. And his way of trying to talk to us about these issues is to use his camera skills and his photography to tell stories, so that, okay, it's not scientific, but there is a real visual there that you can get. And I really love that idea of bridging these worlds and merging information, because yes, some of it might clash, but also we could create something better with it. And you don't need to take everything with science, you don't need to believe every myth, but the combination of both is a way that we can relate. And stories are always something that brings people together. So this is what we're kind of hoping to do over the next few months, is just translate a lot more of his stories and his kind of day-to-day life, and not compare it to our connections to nature, because it is not really comparable. We don't live in a rainforest, but we can at least try and understand and try and relate. So yeah, he speaks beautifully, and that was Beth translating over him there.
So was he speaking Spanish, or because I thought it was Spanish?
Yeah,
or was he speaking?
Yeah, he was speaking Spanish. He doesn't speak Payacoca, because I think a lot would be lost in translation as well. There's not certain words for certain things, so he finds it easier to speak in Spanish when we're translating.
Right. And so those videos are also available in Spanish, because not
Yeah.
everyone speaks English. Okay. Right.
Yeah, I was hoping to try and do them in German as well, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. But yes, Spanish and English. Yeah, and we have written transcripts of everything as well.
Right.
In Spanish and English.
Okay.
Okay. So that brought us on to the event, and so photos started kind of piling in on the Friday. Several people had actually taken to the trees the week before to get the weather window. Smart. And also to have time to then edit film and such like, which I have none of because it's on my dead computer somewhere. But I did get several lovely photos. I just snapped off Instagram and Facebook. And what I love about it is that everyone makes their own camp, so it's kind of like a creative blank canvas. So this particular one, they decided they wanted to have a pirate theme because they were going to have kids there. So they had people in the trees with eye patches, and they had kids on the ground dressed up as pirates, and they had their pirate big camp out flag flying in the trees. And it's just a lovely way to kind of get people together. And even if you don't climb, I think in this particular camp there was 12 of them, 4 of them in the trees, 3 of which were new to sleeping in the trees, and the rest were on the ground in hammocks and tents. And yeah, so although it originated by sleeping up in the trees, is very much open to all, and we love the fact that you can have ground and aerial campouts all in one. Okay. Okay, so this was our friend from Ecuador. He actually is a tree care specialist in Quito, and he took to the cloud forest, the Andean cloud forest in Ecuador, to show his support for the Secopai, and also to, yeah, use his GoPro and get some snaps of him in the trees. And the other part of the big canopy camp, which I find amazing, is all the different tree species that you get to see. And this one was just dripping in epiphytes, and you realize that yeah, it's when everyone's thinking about organizing their camp out, you're having to consider so much more, and you're having to consider completely different things depending on where you are in the world. You know, weather, of course, everyone has to consider, but we don't really have to consider poisonous snakes or ants necessarily over here. And it's really lovely to get those insights, and also get like little people send through pictures of animals that they saw, or animal encounters. We had a lovely video in Australia where there were cockatoos in the trees, and shouting quite angrily. I don't think they were particularly happy about people sleeping in their tree. We had another person in Australia say that they actually saw a platypus swimming around underneath them. I was like, wow. I'm not
Yeah,
going to
that's
get anything as exciting as that. Owls, insects, snakes, lizards, all of these things. It is a bit of a world tour of tree and forest species, which is really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
What is also great is that we get quite a lot of professional tree care, especially. So we get our recreational tree climbers, which is wonderful. What is another element is that we get these professionals, and so they're the ones that spend their whole life in or at least the whole working week in trees, and they have taken the opportunity to really kind of push the boundaries of rigging and setups and what equipment to use, and they really look at it from the technical side of it. So they're maybe not that prioritized on tree species or animal encounters and sunsets and things, but they really love it if they have a technical challenge. And I know for one that I take quite a lot of inspiration and a lot of tips from the different arborists and work at height specialists that go out there with an aim to do something a bit special. These guys were actually celebrating a stag do. And the best man, Luca, who is on the left, decided that it would be a great idea to take his friends camping up in the trees before he gets married. And they spent the whole weekend. He spent the whole weekend teaching them how to climb, getting everything set up, and making this brilliant kind of aerial stag do event without the alcohol, which made me a lot less nervous. Thinking
Yes.
at 30 meters, I'm like, oh no, can't share that. But no, it was no alcohol, just a bit of a challenge. So these kind of team building events also are quite nice to get people involved. Like you say, you don't have to be an expert. Okay, I'm going to just let this run as I chat. So this was basically, I took a small video of the stories that were coming in onto our feed, onto Instagram. And they were too quick to save them all. So I took a video. And you've got here a campaign. So sadly, lockdowns prevented several people from going out to do the camp out, and as they should, and they stayed in. They created an indoor tent, had a little table full of good food and drink, and then put on their favorite film, which was Jurassic Park. So I thought that was a perfect way to celebrate. We get people that just love to show us the merchandise that they've purchased. So we're over 3/4 of the way through all of our products being sold, which is very exciting. And then like just like simple things like stringing up a set of fairy lights. I was like, that's a genius idea. Why would you? Yeah, that's an excellent idea rather than just a head torch. And all the different angles that people get their photos from as well is just really nice. We get a lot of kids getting involved, and several parents, I wouldn't say being forced, but being encouraged to take the kids out because it's quite a family event. And this seems to be quite popular. And we've had 3 or 4 professional videos come through. I'm waiting to actually get the hard copies of these, because obviously they need to be sure that all the credits and stuff are for the right people. But people that don't climb but do just use drones, that seems to be a big popular thing at the moment. Is people are getting their friends who are good with a camera or good with a drone to come along and camp out, and then you get these really epic slow motion beautiful bird's eye views of forests and things, which can look good anyway. And of course there's the camp out itself, so the actual fire and sitting around the camp and really enjoying just hanging out with friends. Now, where was Amanda again? I think, was she Australia? Possibly. Eucalyptus. Yeah. Early morning wake ups. These are lovely. This is about the only time that I get up with the sun, is when it's in my face in a tree. Or I have a horrible early flight. There's the pirates. Just lots of canopy selfies and smiling faces and treetop views. It's just wonderful, really. So this kind of constant stream of people just going out and doing it themselves, with kind of really no direction other than there's going to be other people around the world doing the same thing. We're doing it for a good cause. Do you want to do it? And people really do get involved, and I don't know why it shocks me every year, but it really does. I think it's just because I'm not seeing them day to day, so I'm like, I'm just doing this thing, and then I don't know if people are going to turn up or not. Got another camp in there. Yeah. This is your guys, I think. Yeah. And yeah, people keeping warm. I think also just taking time for themselves. I think this was something that came out this year, was that a lot of people just really enjoyed going, no, this weekend I'm doing this thing for me. And whether they went off by themselves or they went off with a few friends, it wasn't work related. It wasn't an obligation. It was just something that they wanted to do kind of for themselves. Oh, woodpecker wake up. That's better than most alarm clocks, I guess. Yeah,
it is.
Oh, and yes. Oh, we didn't get any coffee in the tree this year. I didn't get any photos of that yet, but I hope to get some. I just went down for my coffee. I couldn't wait for someone to pass it up to me. And I was scared it didn't get there in time. I said, nope. Definitely coffee time. Yeah. Oh yes, and we had Lady
no.
join Kerry, and Belgium. They also did great on the fundraising. Just put a pot down, and people threw in money, and they had people coming throughout the day, going for a climb, and then some people stayed overnight, some people left, but they also collected a huge amount of money, which was great, which is really, really nice. So yeah, that was just a snippet from the Saturday, which was very exciting. And yeah, like I said, it just reminds me that it does work, and that people do want to get involved. And then we get photos like this, and it reminds us why we're doing it. And yes, it is fun and it's wonderful, and it is a celebration of the people and the projects around the world. And sometimes we just need to be reminded that sleeping in a tree with 1,000 other people around the world, it might not save all the forests, and that forests will continue to get cut down, but it definitely does create a sense of solidarity. And even if it is these micro connections where people get put in touch with other people within the country that they can go climbing with, or maybe they see a project that inspires them to get involved somewhere else, or maybe they just donate to a different cause. Whatever it is having a positive effect. And we are in a climate crisis, and we do need to be doing something. And I think it resonates so deeply with this community and with people like GOTC and people who want to be in trees and want to collaborate and want to meet new people and travel. And it really does resonate, and it does make a big difference. So yeah, once again, thank everyone for all their hard work and their donations and their campouts and their photos and films. And yeah, we hope that once I can get back into my dead, dying computer, and we get a few more films and media come through, and along with the Tarkine, that we can really put together a short film, and we can really showcase all the effort that everyone put in this year. We are well over the 5,000 aim of fundraising this year, with the sales of the products and also with the just personal donations. I think we're at 6.5 now. Nice. So this will go directly to the Sekopai and to build the school and to allow them to go on this trip around to meet other Indigenous communities and talk about what they need to be teaching across the generations within the community. So we'll also be following that. I believe that now they'll be heading out in December. So the campaign will continue until Christmas, and then we'll continue following Jimmy and the community to see how they get on and what maybe gets put in their way in terms of setting up, but also what they achieve. But they already wanted me to tell everyone that they feel the energy and they feel supported from afar, and that means so much to them and the community, and they couldn't be happier with just knowing that people are out there thinking about them and that they feel stronger every day for it. So
right,
there is positiveness coming out of it. Yeah, and that's.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your good work.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must be a lot of work. I can't even imagine how much work it is throughout the year.
It's a lot of work, yeah. I didn't really know how much work it was going to be. You know, when you start something and then you're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do that. And then it's like, why is this so much work?
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, wait. I'll find a little. Aha, here we go.
Yeah, you can stop screen sharing, I guess.
How does one do that? I have no patience for German today.
I see. Do I have to stop your screen sharing?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Sharing.
I think so. Never done this, but there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry. All of a sudden I thought maybe I can just do it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to read German anymore.
Translations.
Yes.
Like
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I also made a little video of some of the GOTC camps.
Great.
Some I actually noticed that one of them actually camped, but they didn't sign up with you guys. But they did. And then yeah, so I don't have from a lot of camps, just from 5, I think. And also because I think maybe more people indicated that they were GOTC related, but only you guys have that information.
Yeah.
so yeah, it's like, well, we'll see about it. Okay, so let me see what's easiest, because I think we've lost the Russians. At some point we had Eugene with us again.
Yeah.
I might have bad internet connection. Okay, can you see a black screen?
Yep.
Okay. That's good. Can you see? Let me see. I said play. Is it playing?
Yep.
Okay, great. I added bad music to it.
Nice.
Very nice. There's some beautiful trees.
Yeah, they're fun. Daniel had a lot of fun. It was the first time climbing.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Nadia asked me to add this in
Yeah.
because they couldn't go camping
Yeah.
because of the bad weather. But Alex finished the video. of their cleanup.
Is there sound? I can't hear anything.
Oh, you can't hear the sound?
No.
You can't hear the sound?
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh, that's interesting. Let me see if I change something. And then let me see if you have sound now. Yeah?
Don't know if I'll make it back home. I'm just stuck in a dream. At the bottom of the ocean.
Olá,
Porra, tem um monte de filhotinho ali.
Vocês já tinham visto esses guaribos aqui?
Já, já.
Olha esse macete aí, esse é o pai de todos aí, ó. Como o meu amarelado. Pula, pai.
Kleber!
Uno, dos, tres. ¿No viste la película esa? La bruja de Blair.
¡Perro! ¡Ah! Me está violando esa cosa.
all right, excellent.
Really nice. Really
I had some fun. Video
Yeah,
editing.
that's great. Wow.
Could you not hear the sound in the beginning?
No.
Oh, because we're making so many jokes in the trees with Harv. Next time, I think it's this one specific setting apparently. When I'm playing a video, you have to use the sound from the video.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't pick up on my speaker, but yeah.
Computers, they own us.
Computers. It's okay. Yeah.
Yep,
There's always something.
for sure.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So can we put a date in the diary for maybe end of October to have maybe like a proper debrief or like showing of camps and things like that?
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah. That would
Yeah, I
be-
can do that. I don't know if you have a date in mind.
Not directly.
Eric looks far more awake than I am.
I know.
It's not fair. How is this possible?
Your lighting looks like sleepy lighting, whereas Eric's like, I'm awake, I'm ready for the day.
Yes. No, my house, my apartment is lit to be
Yeah, it's all in the
ready
lighting.
to go.
What is better for you guys, weekend or weekday?
Pretty flexible.
Yeah. Doesn't really matter. Could shoot for a Friday, perhaps. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe Friday the 29th. That's right at the end.
Yeah.
Of October.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Are you gonna find like a time?
Make it later than this.
Yes, but like, yeah, the problem is like the different time zones, but you can pick up a nice time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty good from, I mean, it's what, year 7 now, so, and my 1, so actually it's more up to you because I can do the whole of that Friday, like for
Okay.
another like 8 hours. So yeah, within that 8-hour window.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
See what makes sense with different time zones. Like I try to change, like have some different, so other people could perhaps join.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is, but yeah.
Well,
Difficult.
When is
Mhm.
your next one? It's at your 1 p.m. or?
Yeah, it's my one, but it's like I think New York 3.
Okay.
Right? Eric.
Okay, so my noon.
Right, and that's what you told people, right? I saw that in an email, I think. Eric? Yeah.
What did I
That's what you told the people in California, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told them this correctly. Yeah, I don't know what my thinking was. Like, I want to change some things just so it isn't always the same. Because like for Asia, there were pretty crappy times most of the
Okay.
all of them.
Yeah.
That's why. But I guess the Asia folks are, yeah. But we live and learn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we don't need to set a date at a time now. We can think about it for a little bit and then yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay.
I will let you get back to bed, Cleet.
Yeah, I really should.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in. Good luck collecting seeds.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it sounds really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And will I send that that little presentation over? Do you want to use it later?
Yeah, I mean, I won't be able to